Hi, Tony Maskell here, General Manager at Fast Food Systems. So today I'm talking about the 1100 pass-throughs and how to set up the autofill mechanism. Make sure the unit is plugged in, power is on, lights are on, and humidity is on. The machine should now start to fill automatically. Ensure this valve is turned on and ensure the valve in here is also turned on. On is in line with the piping. Okay, so this is the water valve that's inside the machine. So you need to make certain that the valve is in line with the direction of flow. Then you have this adjustment, you have to reach in past it, and you can just reach to this and turn this dial on the back here, and this increases or decreases the amount of flow. So for situations where you're on the mains, you can shut the flow down more. Situations where you're on the manual reservoir, you increase the flow rate to ensure that the reservoir will fill up correctly. When the float is down, the solenoid is open and the water flows. As the water level rises, the float lifts up and the water level will automatically cut off. As the water evaporates again, the float will lower and the water level will actually rise again. And if you look at the light at the top, you can see that the light is on, and as the water rises, the light switches off. So the light is off, light is on, the light is off as I open and close the valve. So you can regulate the flow of the water by placing your hand in here as shown earlier and adjusting the knob here. So if we look at the inflow now, I'm able to adjust the flow rate by turning the valve, opening it and closing it. It's only small adjustments required, and so that you can manage the flow for mains connection or reservoir connection. If you have any problems, you can check the flow through this hose. Okay, and the way that I would do it, so you can take this out, take it out and make certain that we have flow here. So you can see good flow at this point. Goes to its position just by pushing the hose in here firmly. Here you have a solenoid. This is the solenoid controlled by the float mechanism, and if there's an issue with this, you need to double check that it's receiving 220 volts. So the next step would be to check that you have 220 volts across the solenoid if the solenoid isn't working correctly. And we've got 234 volts there. So we can say that we have voltage to the solenoid and the solenoid is currently open. We have 234 volts at the solenoid is open, water is flowing. We lift the float up, it closes the micro switch, and now we have 0 volts and the solenoid is closed. If you have any difficulties with the solenoid not opening correctly, correct that the micro switch is correctly wired. Number 6, number 16 and number 17. Okay, so I just want to show you quickly how the pan works inside the machine. So the float mechanism lifts and lowers, and as it lifts, this tab moves and presses and releases the micro switch. So we have to be careful that this tab is in the correct position. If it becomes bent out or bent in, it will impact how the machine works. So for example, if it is bent out, the machine will not fill correctly. If it is bent in, the machine may overfill. This is one of the first things that I would check. So we're going to replace this back in here. Be careful with this when you're replacing it. Lift it up and make certain that this is out of the way and slide it all the way home. Hi, so I hope this video has been useful. If you have any more questions or issues with the machine, give us a call on 01189 44 1100. Alternatively, drop us an email and we'll get right back to you.